Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? It is your boy out here, CJ the DJ, coming to you live with a brand new episode of Hustle and Burn. As always, man, appreciate y'all tuning in. Hope everybody had a great week. And of course, it is Sunday, so hopefully we can end it off right, you dig? Man. Again, hope everybody had a great week, as we always do. Want to give a shout out to our sponsors, guys. First and foremost, Diamond Consulting. For any general contractors out there in the Colorado Front Range area that may need or utilize subcontractors for any different scopes of works on new builds, remodels, renovations, contact Diamond Consulting, guys. They have a private network of fully vetted, fully insured subcontractors looking to grow and scale their companies, aka take on more work. So it's a mutually beneficial relationship. You get good quality subs, and of course they work with good quality GCs to assist them in their company ascension. So contact Diamond Consulting, guys, 720-563-7452. Got plenty to get into today, so we're going to kick it off with the Not For Long League, man. The NFL news, Mr. One, Jon Gruden. All right, Jon Gruden back in the mix, guys, for head coaching positions. I said it way back on episode 12 in November, that him signing with Barstool and the NFL not having any issue with it, him being able to commentate weekly and on a week-to-week basis on NFL games, was really just simply Jon Gruden being eased back onto the NFL scene, seeing how people would take it, seeing how people would feel. Right now, sources say that he is a hot candidate for a head coaching position this offseason. And, NFL lawsuit, no problem. They are saying that the NFL lawsuit will not affect his hiring in any way, shape, or form if a team does choose to pursue Jon Gruden this season. And, for new listeners who didn't listen to episode 12 and don't know about the Jon Gruden situation, Jon Gruden was an NFL coach who was essentially fired, and his lawsuit against the NFL alleges that they pressured the Raiders organization, number one, but number two, that they leaked emails and conversations of Jon Gruden's to essentially force the Raiders' hand into firing him and getting him off the team. So really, it's interesting because, again, as I mentioned on episode 12, Jon Gruden's case against the NFL in court apparently was very, very, very strong. And so, I think the reason that this, rumor mill around and surrounding Jon Gruden is so huge is, number one, guys, Jon Gruden is one of the best coaches the NFL has ever seen. Hands down. He's up there with the Belichicks, the Andy Reids, these guys. He hasn't won as many championships as those guys that I just mentioned, and but he is in the same breath as those guys. Jon Gruden is an elite head coach, and he had really started something back with the Raiders, and unfortunately it got cut short. I think he was only there maybe 2 seasons before it got cut short. So, this is very, very interesting, but it does help the NFL again. If you let Jon Gruden come back into coaching, come back into the NFL, it's essentially a way for you to kind of, sweep this email thing under the rug and, call it good, if you will, right? Like, all right, man, you're back in the league, this happened, you're back in the league, right? Like, it's a way for the NFL to just kind of say, hey, let's get the lawsuit out of there, right? So very interesting, man. But again, y'all know with the information, we are always early. We are never late, man. And I told y'all, episode 12, Gruden was most likely getting introduced back onto the NFL scene. Now he has, and now there's rumors he is going to be a coach. And I would bet money. I said it on episode 12. He was getting eased back onto the NFL scene. I'm going to say it on episode 20. Jon Gruden will be a coach in the NFL next season, guys. Don't know for what team. Don't think he'll reunite with the Raiders. Simply because of the way that, they're involved with the lawsuit. I don't think the NFL is going to go that far to allow that sort of thing to happen. But I think essentially any other team that wants to go hire Jon Gruden is going to be able to hire him and will hire him. So Jon Gruden back in the NFL, man. Y'all know how we do. There's a bunch of head coaching positions that are open, though. Mike Vrabel, I was thinking about. He was interviewing with the Jets, of course. Everyone, I think, any NFL fan who kind of pays attention to the NFL world expects Mike Vrabel to be a head coach next season. He is an absolutely great coach. If you see the fall off of what's happened with the Tennessee Titans guys and why you no longer hear about them, it's essentially Mike Vrabel left, and the new people that they allowed to come in have ruined the team completely. I mean, you let Derrick Henry walk as well for $6 million, brother. Like, it's just bad. It is terrible what has happened in Tennessee, man. Hoping that Shador doesn't have to go to the Tennessee Titans. That would be a terrible, terrible fit for him. But Mike Vrabel, again, guys, he will be back in the NFL coaching. Another one is Cliff Kingsbury. Rumors are he is interested in the Chicago job. Now, for those that don't know, Cliff Kingsbury actually coached Caleb Williams for a time in college. And so, it could be interesting to go reunite with a former player. Obviously, it's the quarterback, so that's supposed to be the leader of the team, who I guess commands the locker room. So I think that is helpful for a coach who has a quarterback who is the leader, who can command the locker room as soon as the coach comes in. I think it makes a transition for a new head coach, especially one that is, known to the quarterback as well on a personal level. I think that makes the transition for a new coach coming in even easier. So Cliff Kingsbury is a viable option for an NFL job, especially the Chicago job. But, in my opinion, I was thinking about it, like realistically, could you leave Washington? Let's say Washington goes and this season they make it to the NFC Championship. I don't see, being able to justify leaving the Commanders for any of the teams that are available, head coaching position-wise, okay? Let's run through a couple. We have the Jets, the Jags, potentially the Titans, potentially the Browns, Chicago, potentially the Raiders, the Saints, right? But let's be real, like, the Commanders are a great team. You're only in the first year of a full-blown rebuild, and you potentially are making a run for the NFC title. How do you justify going to the Jets, the Jags, the Titans, Chicago? Like, maybe because I'm not a coach, I have no desire to coach. Maybe like that coaching ego shit is super huge. Like, these guys want to have their own teams and organizations. I'm not 100% sure. But that shit is just like, how could you even fathom right now leaving Jaden Daniels, a rookie quarterback who's about to win the Offensive Rookie of the Year, your great team? You've now made the Washington Commanders a destination spot. Many players, through 7-8 weeks of the season, were telling their agents they wanted to come play in Washington. So imagine this offseason, the plethora of people that are going to be flooding into Washington, wanting, begging to be on the team. Not only that, but they have multiple draft picks over the next few years because of the way that they position themselves in years prior. How do you justify leaving the Washington Commanders if you're Cliff Kingsbury? Unless it boils down to there's got to be some head coaching ego. The only way Cliff Kingsbury, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, leaves the Washington Commanders is if he goes to Chicago, number one. But I just don't think there's any way that he would do that, guys. I just don't see it. But, we'll see. We got Week 18 of the NFL. And a couple people had mentioned it this week. There's a couple games, obviously. For example, the Broncos are a do-or-die game versus the Kansas City Chiefs. The Cincinnati Bengals were a do-or-die game last night against the Pittsburgh Steelers. If they lost, they were done. Their playoff chances were done. If they won, that they were in. So, there's kind of two sides to this 2 extra weeks in the NFL coin. There's the side of the Bengals and the Broncos, right? Fighting for a position, fighting for that final spot. But then there's the flip side where if you're the Bengals, you just played a full-blown, healthy Steelers team, not resting players, yet your essential position, right, relies and is based on the Denver Broncos today playing the Kansas City Chiefs, playing the Kansas City Chiefs, who are resting all of their starters. So essentially, it's frustrating for some teams, beneficial for other teams. For the Broncos, it's an extremely good opportunity. Guys, if the Broncos lose today to the Kansas City Chiefs, who are resting their players, okay, if they lose today, they don't deserve to make the playoffs. They had 5-10 chances to beat the Bengals last week. If they lose today to the Kansas City Chiefs, who are resting probably over 50% of their starters, they don't even deserve an opportunity to be in the playoffs. Real shit. Like real life. They don't even deserve an opportunity to be in the playoffs if that's what happens, man. But, it's going to be interesting with the head coaches. I am excited. This week, unfortunately, guys, we are not doing any bets this week on the pod. I know that's why a lot of y'all come here, man. We are not doing any sports bets this week. But if I had one recommendation for you guys, a lot of players have contract incentives this week, whether it be for, $5, $10 or $5-10, 500 or $50 to $100,000, $250,000 bonuses. Couple guys need 85 yards. Cortland Sutton, for example, for my Bronco fans, 5 catches, 85 yards gets Cortland Sutton a $2 million bonus. I'm telling you right now, they're going after that. They're going after that. Mike Evans, he needs 1,000 receiving yards. That's his record every season. He gets 1,000 receiving yards. He needs like 100 yards, I believe, maybe even 85 yards to get that. So Baker Mayfield, obviously, and he's been public about it, Baker is forcing the ball to Mike Evans today. So simply, guys, go look up contract incentives for Week 18 NFL. You will find some. Those are the things that I would bet on this week. But I am not putting a lock of the week together. We did not put a juicy parlay together. My apologies to those who come to the pod to listen to that, but we didn't. Now let's move on, man. Y'all know the bread and butter on this podcast is the NFL chat and the music chat. Not just NFL, but the sports chat. But let's flip it over to music, man. Drake this week dropped Fighting Irish freestyle. And first and foremost, I love Drake. I love Drake. The shit is not a freestyle, okay? I hate this new trend in hip-hop where people just, put freestyle on the end of the song and everyone's like, oh, they freestyle. Like, bro, back in the day was freestyling really, coming off the top of the dome. You can see Drake sitting here reading off the screen. And for Drake haters, oh, that's just Drake. No. All these rappers be saying this shit is freestyles, and they not freestyles. All them on the radars, bro. All them on the radars you see, those are not freestyles, bro. If you think those on the radars are freestyles, you're fried, brother. You deserve the Fried Award of the Week for that. If you think all of these shits are freestyles, it's not a freestyle. All right. But I just think it's lame. It's lame to me, whether you're Drake, whether you're any artist, doesn't care how much I love your music. Don't put freestyle on a track that ain't freestyle. It just ain't a freestyle, my guy. Just put some random shit. I don't know. Why couldn't you just do Drake Fighting Irish uncut or some shit? Because it was just a little video of him rapping off his phone. Why you got to put freestyle? Again, it's not a freestyle. Anyways, man. He took aim on this track, guys, at LeBron James, a couple other people, Kendrick, but mainly LeBron James, who posted a cringy video the other day. Listening to Kendrick Lamar, man. LeBron James, guys, really, he's been famous since he was 15, right? So at this point, LeBron's like 40, 41. The guy's been richer longer than he was poor, okay? And essentially, he's just seemingly, in my opinion, guys, when I see pictures, when I see videos, when I see his antics, the way that he, tries to portray himself, I feel like LeBron James is just trying to, cosplay as a young black nigga, right? Or a cool nigga. Bro, you're corny as fuck. LeBron James is corny as fuck. This video of him singing this Kendrick shit is the most corny shit ever, bro. Go watch this shit, bro. Go watch this shit, bro. LeBron James listening to this Kendrick shit. It's the corniest shit ever, bro. But the corniest moment is Drake actually trading LeBron James a $400,000 Arabic dial Rolex watch, which LeBron traded Drake for a numbered edition of the same watch. So for my watch people, y'all know if you're around in my hemisphere, I fuck with watches. And an Arabic dial watch, obviously the numbers are just written in Arabic, but those are very, very, very rare and high-end watches. And so they had the same watch. Drake had the Arabic one. LeBron had the numeric one, the regular one, of course, but it was numbered, which means it's limited edition. There's only a certain amount, within the hemisphere. So they actually switched watches, man, just, as kind of boys, man. They switched watches. And, trying to play that sort of thing cool, and then going and essentially turning your back on Drake, man. From LeBron James' perspective, that is just corny, bro. And this is the first time we're ever doing this, guys, but the back-to-back winner of the Fried Award of the Week goes to LeBron James, guys. He is just corny. He pretends to represent black culture. claims to be, he's a self-proclaimed greatest of all time in his sport. Never heard anyone else claim that at all. And, you know, he flip-flops between Kendrick and Drake, man. We just can't do it. We can't do it. LeBron, you are fried, my guy. You're fried, bro. LeBron James is fried, man. Let's keep it moving. Lil Baby dropped a new album this week called Wham, or Who Hard As Me. And a lot of people, baby, are much harder than you, my boy. Pause. Disappointment in this album completely. This is probably, in my opinion, the worst album from a superstar in the last 3 to 5 years. This is bad. I mean, this is absolutely treacherous. Every song sounds the same to me, like every single track. And baby, you know, that's always been one thing. People say, oh, he sounds the same, but no, he's always had different vibes. This one actually all sounds the exact same to me. I don't know who be in the studios with him, you know, AR and this shit, putting these tracks and track lists together. This was bad, bro. This was bad. Fans, you know, they give it one listen out of loyalty, but the fall off for Lil Baby is officially complete. I don't even think this album lands in the top 3 to 5. I really don't. And it may land top 3 to 5 solely off the fact he hasn't dropped an album in a while, so everyone and their mamas went and gave it one listen, right? And, you know, I'm not saying it's 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10, guys, but we're probably talking 5 to 6 out of 10. This is Lil Baby's worst album. And y'all know I'm a heavy music head. I'm a heavy music critique. This is Lil Baby's worst album. Baby, I'm sorry. Just wasn't it, my boy. This is your worst album, 1,000% without question. This album is garbage in comparison to the previous albums that you have, without question. Now, on the flip side, and not garbage, is Gunna Wanna, man. We have spoke on Gunna. Obviously, Lil Baby distanced himself from Gunna, calling Gunna a rat with the Young Thug situation. But Gunna's been on the flip side of this hip-hop coin, man. Gunna has had mad success in 2024. His song, Fuck You Mean, was the first and only song to surpass 1 billion streams on Spotify, making him the first artist to do it in 4 years, okay? So he's the first artist to have a song surpass 1 billion streams. Mind you guys, the entire hip-hop community shunned Gunna, turned their back on Gunna, okay? So it's like, bro, the Lil Baby, everyone supports you, everyone's on your side, yet you're falling off. Gunna, the guy that everyone turned their back again, is the one really rising up, man. And it's because he stayed true to himself, you know? He improved his mental and his physical health. In the year that he was locked up, and in the year that he came home, that he was very quiet, that everyone was really going at him publicly. And you know, he, again, is the first artist to do it in 4 years, man. Salute to Gunna for just his consistency, his authenticity as well. If you really go listen to these tracks, man, and listen to the things that Gunna Wanna is saying on these tracks, man, you can tell that he's speaking now from a heightened sense and a heightened point of view, and it's something that we can all and should all want to learn from. Like, you know, I encourage y'all to really go listen to Gunna's music. Gunna actually has great music, great topics, great flows, great pockets, everything. Gunna Wanna is on top of the rap game right now. Like I said, there wasn't a rap album, or this is, the Lil Baby's was the worst rap album from a superstar in the last 3 years. Gunna's last album was probably the best album from a superstar hip-hop artist that we've heard in the last 3 years. So again, man, salute to Gunna Wanna. We talked about him a couple times, but if you haven't already, go throw on some Gunna Wanna as you getting dressed today, going out, wherever you going out. When you hop in the whip, throw on Gunna Wanna. Put on Gunna Wanna. Matter of fact, if I got to give a song recommendation, Gunna Wanna, Today I Did Good. Gunna Wanna, Today I Did Good. Whenever you do something today, if it's getting dressed, if it's going out the house, getting in your car, throw that on the aux, throw that on the Bluetooth, man. Today I Did Good by Gunna. Gunna Wanna on top of the game, man. That's enough of the music chat for the week for y'all. Music has been picking up, which I am actually excited about. It's been kind of a drought for music. There's only, you know, a couple artists. It's the Kendrick and the Drake. Seems like everyone's been kind of scared to drop, but seems like it's getting a little more consistent here. With these artists starting to come back and starting to drop this music. So very excited for music. Seems like it's, you know, starting to get back into that New Year vibe, and then we got summer vibes next. So, you know, very, very excited, man. Next, we gonna flip it to the investment wrap of the week for y'all, man. Of course, for those who haven't listened to the pod or this portion of the pod, this is simply where we go into the stocks, the cryptos during the week, how things did, what we did potentially. And this week the NASDAQ was down 1.38%. The Dow Jones ended down 0.98%. Now, for those that are listening, are like, what the hell is the NASDAQ? What the hell is the Dow Jones? The NASDAQ, guys, essentially it tracks mostly tech stocks. So think of it as like a new age millennial, right? Tracker or stock tracker, right? Like it tracks big tech stocks, the Apples, the Teslas, the Nvidias, things like that. And then the Dow Jones is more like, the reliable older sibling, if you will, or the household names, if you will. So that's the McDonald's, the Disneys, the Coca-Colas. That's what the Dow Jones tracks. The NASDAQ, again, tracks tech mostly. Apple, Tesla, Nvidia, things of that nature. So, of course, I've chatted about it. My portfolio, we're focusing on long-term plays with tech-heavy stocks. Google, Nvidia, Amazon, Apple, Tesla, Palantir. Those are kind of my big six that I've mentioned on the podcast before. But, tech, AI, and quantum are the future. And I know, before the real investors hop on here and tell me I need to spread out my portfolio a bit, I know, obviously. But I'm a new long-term investor. And what I mean by that is, to me, long-term investing is wealth building. And I know that I can't just have, these sort of stocks. I know you need to spread your portfolio out. What that means, guys, is, don't have just tech stocks. Have with the tech stocks, mix in the Coca-Colas, mix in the Deeres, mix in the Cats, mix in the waste managements, mix in the oil industry, things like that, guys. You got to spread out your portfolio because, for example, for me as a new investor, with me getting my portfolio started, right now, if tech is down, if Tesla's down, if Apple's down, if Nvidia's down, my portfolio is most likely going to be down because that's where most of my stocks come from, right? And so that's what it means when they say you need to spread your portfolio. That way you can battle the market and try and beat the market. If the NASDAQ's down 1.38% and you're only down 0.5%, you beat the market for that day. That's good. That's a benefit. That's what you want to do, right? No matter which way the coin flips, whether the market's up, you want to be beating it. Whether the market's down, you want to be down not as much. That's beating the market. Every single day, that is the goal. Every single week, every single month, that is the goal. It's simply to just beat the markets, man. So spread out that portfolio. I'm going to be spreading out that portfolio. One thing that I did look into this week was options trading. I did try my first small options play this week, and I did make money on 2 trades. To be 100% honest, I'm still learning the complexities of options trading. So, I can't sit here and present it to you guys, okay, in a way that I want to. So I'm not going to get too much into options trading. But again, I did throw down 2 options this week. They did both make money. I just think really, again, I have to be able to learn something, break it down and digest it before I can come and try and present it to you. But definitely worth exploring for future opportunities, guys. As I mentioned last pod, if I tell you to go look something up and you have a few moments, go look it up. Go look up options trading. Go look in a little bit to what it is. It's very interesting and it's very lucrative if you do it right and if you catch something at the right time. So, with the investing, as we've been talking about, dollar cost averaging, guys, use TradingView. I mentioned it last week. It's a free site to stock tracks. You can make a free account, stock any track that you want, any crypto you want. But dollar cost averaging, guys, use TradingView. Use the Fibonacci retracement structure chart on the 3 to 6 month view, because that's what I want. I'm long-term investor, so I'm reevaluating every quarter, every 2 quarters, right? With what's going on. Obviously, day to day with cryptos and smaller plays, but still, that's what we want to do. Go look at the 3 to 6 month view on TradingView with the Fibonacci retracement, and all you have to do is set purchase orders at the orange lines, guys, and the green lines. I'm not even going to give you the specific fib numbers or anything like that. I'm going to make it simple. All you have to do is set purchase orders at the orange lines and at the green lines, okay? And at the red lines, definitely. Now, above that second green line, the darker green line, you want to kind of hold off, see what the stock's going to do. Let it fluctuate. But anything below those 2 green lines, especially the orange, especially the red line, that's where you buy, guys. Just set purchase orders. You know the drill. You know what I've been saying. Set a purchase order, set it, forget about it. Okay? Just set the purchase order, guys, and it'll be there, right? All you have to do is deposit funds into your, let's say, Robinhood account, set a purchase order of X amount of dollars to execute at X price, and it will do that for you. That money is on hold. You can't go put it into crypto and then wait for that stock to get to that price and then it'll flip. No, that money is now on hold. It's on reserve, but that's what we're here to do. We need to be setting aside this money. We need to be not gambling with money and funds that we potentially don't have. So don't put, anything into the market that you aren't willing, number one, to lose, guys, but number two, that you cannot afford. Okay? This has to be funds that, you have eligible, that you have just sitting in a savings account that you really have no use for, that you're going to spend on going and getting drunk this weekend, things like that, right? It's a waste of money. It's a waste of time. Just put it in the stock market, realistically. That's all you got to do, man. Put it in the stock market, set purchase orders, and forget about it. And another thing, really, that I found this week that was very interesting to me, that I am heavily looking into, just so again, guys, the play. This year, we're just dollar cost averaging into all these stocks. We're not even thinking about taking profits in any way, shape, or form, okay? 2025, we are not thinking about taking profits in any way, shape, or form. At the end of 2025, we'll look at the stocks. We'll see where we're at. We'll see if there's any profits to take. But then we're going to flip to 2026, and what we're going to look into is something I stumbled upon this week, which are things that are called safe stocks, okay? In safe stocks, guys, these are lower value stocks. Now, the companies, however, have good dividends for them. And a lot of investors will throw the main part of their portfolios and profit when they take that profit out into these lower value stocks that are considered safe stocks. Now, the companies may not be the best overall, okay? But the dividend wise is the benefit. All right. So if you look at a company, for example, Main Street Capital, or ticker symbol MAIN, Main Street Capital. This is a company, guys, right now their stock is worth about $59 to $60 per share, okay? They pay per month, and they've already announced this. This is public information, public knowledge. You guys can go look up. They already announced that they will be paying 25 cents per share over the upcoming quarter. Okay, so that's January, February, and March. You are guaranteed 25 cents per share of that stock that you own over January, February, and March. So what a lot of people do is they're taking these December profits, guys, that they're taking in December of 2024. Now they're putting those profits into these safe stocks like Main Street Capital that has an amazing dividend over the next 3 quarters. You put 20 grand in there, right? You're making bread. You put 10 grand in there, you're making bread off of these stocks, guaranteed. That's on top of the stock itself rising up, right? As more money flows into it, as the volume continues to fluctuate with the stock and everything like that. So it's like, these safe stocks, guys, again, they're companies that may not be the best, but they're lower value stocks on the stock market that you can buy at low cost, but the dividends that they offer are extremely high. The stock isn't going to plummet, all right? But the dividend pays well. And that's exactly what you want to get into. That's why they call it a safe stock, okay? Dividend stocks are another great thing, guys, that I would go look into. For those of you that don't know what a dividend is, it's just like a bank account. They offer dividends in certain cases and situations. But a dividend, guys, is simply you receiving a payment for owning this or housing your funds in this stock, okay? So, for example, Meta, they also pay a dividend. It's definitely not a quarter per share. Definitely nothing crazy like that. They aren't that wild. But, these stocks that pay dividends, guys, why they're extremely beneficial is because those are the ones where once your portfolio grows, I'm telling you right now, with $100, $200, dividend stocks aren't going to be beneficial. It's going to make you pennies. But once you build up a portfolio and you start having, thousands and thousands of dollars in your portfolio, that's really where dividend stocks begin to be very beneficial. Because again, on top of the fluctuation in the charts themselves, you're receiving the guaranteed dividend of X amount. And these companies, they announce what their dividends are going to be prior. So it's not like it's a surprise when it comes up, like, oh, we're getting a quarter this time around. It's like, no, bro, we knew 6 months ago this stock would be giving out a quarter per month, right? Or a quarter per share, right? Per month as a dividend. So go look into, guys, again, I'm always giving you free game, but lately, especially with this investing stuff, man, go look up dividend stocks. okay? And then flip and look up safe stocks or stocks that are a little bit lower, again, value on the stock market, but they have good dividends. Look up the top 10 dividend stocks under $100. Those are going to be safe stocks. There's multiple things to look at, the market cap, the volume of these, but if you can find that one like Main, I can tell you right now, Main Street Capital is a great one to be looking at, right? As an example, if you can find these guys, it's going to be beneficial for us in the future. So I'm very excited about it. I got to put that on your radar, man. There's so many things that you can do with the investing, guys. Again, there's the swing trades, the day trades, long-term investing, which is 3 to 5 years, short-term, which is more so like 3 to 6 months, if not shorter. There's options trading. There are so many ways for us to make money, but especially what I'm noticing and what I always preach, guys, is proximity to good information is crucial, okay? And what I mean by that is the closer you are to the core of a certain thing and the information about a certain thing, the better off that you're going to be. The more prepared you will be in comparison to someone who doesn't know much about what's going on or who doesn't take the time to look into what's going on. So, take that as a little gem on the way out of here. Proximity, guys, to good information is extremely, extremely crucial. The closer you are to it, the better off that we are, guys. All right. Now, that's all I got for y'all this week. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Everything in the world right now, guys, is a little bit shaky. Obviously, there's been, multiple terrorist attacks, many rumors surrounding many different things going on within the world. But, what I would say is, I think a lot of us do really need to stay vigilant and just stay on point. I think we take our freedoms and the safeties that we do have on an everyday basis for granted a lot of times, and it causes us to get very comfortable in our environment, very comfortable with our neighbors, things like that. Guys, the gentleman who just blew up the Cybertruck in Tesla lived in Colorado Springs. Do you think his neighbors had any inclination that he was going to do something like that, or that he may have been feeling in the way that he was feeling? Most likely not, guys. Okay, a lot of times these guys aren't going to be, the most open people, right? These terrorists, and I don't want to just say terrorists because it's not, it is a terrorist at the end of the day. Whether you're from the United States, whether it's a terrorist group outside the United States or inside the United States, these are terrorists, guys. There are very scary people, and there are a lot of people who flooded into our country. This is not conspiracy, guys. This is facts, okay? This is documented facts. There are over 450,000 people that came into our country over the last 4 years. We don't know backgrounds of these individuals. We had a completely open policy. If you're seeking asylum, you can come to our country. A lot of these people flooded in, and rumors are that a lot of bad people flooded in, guys. So, I'm not trying to be a bearer of bad news. I put that out there to say, guys, stay vigilant, stay safe. If you don't have guns, I would probably go buy a few guns if you can do it. I would go buy a few guns. I would take a couple of gun training classes because, things are getting crazy, and at any given moment, guys, our lives could completely change for the rest of our lives, okay? The course of history could completely change. The entire planet itself could change, all right? So stay vigilant, man. Stay safe. Again, I appreciate y'all tuning in. I got a couple cool things in the works, man, that I am actually very, very excited about. Not going to get into it. Don't want to put it out there until it's right in front of me, right? Don't want to play myself out of my position, as we've spoke about. But very cool things in the works, man. Again, y'all, appreciate you tuning in. I'm sorry we didn't have any NFL picks, but I hope you enjoyed the chat this week like I did. Man. Thank y'all. Have a good Sunday. We out.